Good evening.
Hi everyone.
How you doing? My name's Barry.
And I'm Jay.
And we are Mitosu Crafts.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And here is Tommy. Come on. You're going to make an appearance. No, he's just sitting down there waiting. Well done, the button top. So
Yes.
messy, so scruffy, so sorry.
Yes, if you are new to the channel, we are Barry and Jay from Mitosu Crafts. We're independent Stampin Up demonstrators based in the UK. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, you'll be able to purchase Stampin Up products from our online shop. Sorry, I can't stop smiling. Yes, don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, and give us a thumbs up and share to your family and friends if you can. So we're gonna start off sharing a couple of cards that we've made recently or went up on the blog. So if you haven't seen it, or our Facebook Live as well, check those out.
Okay, so this is one which we did the other day. This was on Wednesday, was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Was it really? I don't, days are blended into one another, so I don't know what's going on. This was done on Wednesday, so this was using the Grace's Gardens. This is one which I did. So, and you did that one there, wasn't it? What did you do? So that's what we did on our Facebook, and then obviously if you missed it, Jay made this lovely little treat holder. Hi Carol.
Hi.
Got a lovely little treat holder here with some Easter eggs. Tommy just jumped up.
Tommy's just kicking me out of my seat already.
Hi Susan, happy
Hi.
Easter. Yeah, happy Easter everyone. So some Easter eggs in this. They are going to get munched later on whilst we continue watching a movie which we started last night.
Oh, yeah.
We can finish off it tonight.
Yes.
So that's what those done. So that was using Grace's Garden, and my one was without the dies, and Jay's one was using the dies to create this little box, which is lovely.
And on the blog, I have included measurement for a new base because the one that I created didn't have a tab at the front. So check that out on the blog as well.
Yes, if you want to recreate it, Jay's been kind enough to put all the measurements up. And this was one which I did for, which I did for the Gentleman Crafters Design Team blog hop the other day, so which went live on Wednesday. So this
Friday.
is Friday. Wow, what's going on? That one was Wednesday, this one was Friday.
Yes.
But so this is a video which is up online. So this is using the baby swipe technique to create this lovely little scene here. And using you can see that the light's just catching on it, got some heat embossing on the mountains in there as well. So yeah, that's what we created. So that kind of brings us on nicely to tonight. So following on from this, Jay's going to do another one, very similar.
Yes.
But different. So using just doing some different things with it. So if you want to see how this one was created, head over to our YouTube channel. Or you're already on our YouTube channel. I keep forgetting where we are. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go next door again.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm not crafting tonight, luckily. So
are you not gonna?
No, I'm not doing.
Design something on the fly.
I've got nothing organised at all. So no. So it's all Jay.
For
Tonight.
sure. Yes, so I've used Barry's card as an inspiration, as well as what he created with the baby swipe video. So this one, he created that, so I'm gonna use that as my starting point.
Are you not actually going to do the whole baby swipe from the beginning, are you? So okay, so this is using the offcuts, your tester pieces. So
Yeah, because you made four.
I did make four. I made four
Yeah.
backgrounds.
Yeah.
So using those backgrounds which are created to create something else. So is that created from one of these?
That one was created from the previous one that you
Okay,
made.
so
Yeah, the one that
okay.
you didn't like, so I just...
But the same colours?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm intrigued to see how this. Cause I have actually seen a finished project, and I didn't realise that it come from my offcut. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I didn't do another one. I'm too lazy.
I'm intrigued to see how this turns out because it changes quite considerably. So yeah, so your offcuts, your pieces you can make when you make this card. You can now do something slightly different and create a new card. So check out that technique to get to where we are right now.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that is it.
Nope. Let's flip you round, and I'm going to do it because Jay will get it wrong. Sorry. There we go. Let's move some stuff out the way. Hey, Tommy.
All right, hello. So, as I said earlier, I'm using Barrett's card as inspiration. So, I'm using the Mountain Air reversible stamp set again with the Majestic Mountain Dies. So, this comes as a bundle from the mini catalog. It's called reversible die because it's reversible. So, the front is got a design on it. So, when you stamp, and then it's quite a thick stamp photopolymer, and then you use the back to then stamp the silhouette or the back of that, so you can see from there that's what it would stamp from that one, so which is quite cool. I've already put the stamps that I'll need on the block, so I'm using the double tree, the moon, and the birdies. Quite cool. And for the Majestic Mountain Dies, I'm using the mountains again, but differently, and the duo trees to match that. So, where are we? Where are we? Sorry, Barry keeps telling me off if I just get the stuff, which I just did. So I'm using basic gray card base, which is 21 centimeters by 14.5, folded in half at 10.5. I'm just gonna burnish that. I've already scored it. And just burnish that off. Basic black card, which is 12.3 by 8.3, I want to say. I do need Whisper White. I haven't done that yet. So just quickly double check this. So this is the same.
That instruction was done rather loud, so I heard it as well, wasn't it? I do need Whisper White.
So the same. Oh no, I don't, because I'm using your card. What am I saying? Right. Thank you. Where's the cards that I'm using, Barra? Did you move them?
Oh yeah. I tied it up.
Thank you. So this is what I'm using. So I'm gonna be using this the same way as Barry did, but I'm gonna cut it down to the same measurements as what Barry did as well. So he did 12 by 8, I believe. Yeah. So I'm just gonna cut that at 12. And it's quite big, isn't it? 8. So I do want my card to have a lot of the sky. So we'll see if we cut it down 8 here, it won't have that much sea. So I'm gonna just cut how much? Probably 1 centimeter off. And then I'm gonna cut the rest to be 8. So that's gonna be what I'm gonna start with. And to step it up, I basically use this as a base, but sponging on it with rich raspberry and Coastal Cabana. So I'm gonna do that now. Paper?
What paper?
To sponge. So the sponge, the stamping sponges I'll be using, it normally comes as a huge circular sponge, but we just cut it in quarters. Thank you. And I'm gonna use a sticky note to just align that on and keep a straight line. Actually, can I have the grid one for the Stamparatos, please? So you can use your grid paper, the huge one, or the Stamparatus grid paper as well, which is a square one, probably around 9 by 9.
Or even 8 by 8. I think it was an 8. So yeah, might even be a 7 by 7.
Okay.
7.5 by 7.5. Let's go in the middle.
So that one, I'm using it just because I do want to start off and mask that off. So I'm just aligning that straight, and then I'm just gonna mask this off.
Can I just ask an interrupt
Yep.
for a moment? Are you using these two at all?
No, I won't
No?
be using that. I'm only using one. So you can use that
If I can come up with
if
something,
you can come
I
up
will
with
do.
something. Ooh. Right. So I know that's straight. I used the grid paper. Hopefully that is straight. So I'm gonna use Coastal Cabana. So when I sponge, I tend to obviously ink up the sponge, and then if you do want smoother sponging, just tap it off a couple of times on your grid paper. Why is this funky? And then go on into your card. Sorry, it's gonna wobble.
Oh dear.
Hmm?
Do I need to be a camera steady?
So you can ink as much as you want or as little. Huh?
It's not
That's-
wobbling that.
Why is it not? Am I being too careful? So I'm mostly concentrating along the horizon, which is the straight line, along and on the side as well. Where the white areas are, I'm gonna try and keep white or keep us close to white, because I do think that those are quite nice. I don't know, it's just really nice as to enhance the card as well for reflection.
Hi to everyone who's just joined us. There's a few extra people that have come on now. So Donna,
Hi.
somebody from Normandy as well. I can't pronounce your
Ooh.
name.
Where's Normandy? Where's Normandy? I'm not very good in geography. Why are you laughing? Yeah, normally we have our laptop in front, so I could see the comments, but unfortunately we haven't done that tonight. So Rich Russellberry. So I started with the Coastal Cabana because it's lighter of the two colors, and then I'll be able to use the same mask. Right, I'm just gonna double check. Like so. And then I'm just gonna reinsert that and using, if I can see that. If you don't have Post-it, use copy paper, and then just do it on the side as well. So Rich Russellberry, and I'm gonna concentrate more along the edges and along the top. So because we have the base baby's wipe technique, I quite like that it's got the marks on, and it makes it look like a painting, I think. Because I always wonder how people create those brush stroke on their card making, and I think the baby swipe is really good for that as well. If you want to, and it's quite easy as well to do. And by sponging around the edges, it just creates atmosphere, and then it just enhances the card as well. Let's have a look. Okay, maybe a bit darker on here. How's everyone's day been? We had a really lazy day. Well, Barry did. I've been crafting.
I can get in it.
You can, yeah, no, I take over the whole table when I craft. We did joke around and said I suggested to Barry that we should tape the half of the table, so then when he wants to craft he can, because I tend to take over. Well, no, it didn't, to be fair. There you go. So that was fairly quick, I think. And yeah, quite like that. Whilst it's wet, actually, what we could do is... Oh, I just made a noise that I don't like. Barry.
Don't like me.
Yeah. So you can use aqua painters or an actual water brush, paintbrush, a small one, and we're just basically gonna splatter. So if you put water on here, on your block, and then what you could do is just tap it against your finger. And because it's water-based ink that we've used, once it dries, it actually takes off the ink that we've just sponged. If you want more, then do a bit more, but that should be fine. He says, but adding a bit more. Okay, so that is ready for later. And onto the other elements, which is... So the going back with the basic black, which is 12.3. What was it again? Yeah, 12.3 by 8.3. I'm actually gonna stamp on it and then die cut on there as well. But it's gonna be my matte or my first layer, but because it's gonna be underneath, this is how you can be even more crafty with your products, with your cardstock. So I'm gonna heat emboss like Barry did, but with the trees. So don't forget to always use your embossing body and prepare your cardstock. I still forget doing this, but that's why we keep it with the embossing powder normally. Versamark and the double trees. And as long as I stamp it in the middle, I know that the border won't affect the border. So you can just about, that's better, isn't it? See it on there.
We're not turning
No,
light down.
that's why I was like, I'm being blinded.
You're illuminating your face.
The spotlight was still on my face. Here. And I'm gonna use clear embossing powder. Or if you don't have the embossing powder or embossing tool, what you could do in the pack, in the Majestic Mountain Dies, there's also these trees. So you could always die cut these trees and cut that down. So I'll heat this up. Excuse the noise. It's just magic. Magical. Wait for that to actually dry, because sometimes it stays like tacky after a little bit. Did not actually do anything. It looks alright. So I'm gonna die cut that now with this one, and then I'll die cut the other, this one as well, so I can show you what you can do if you don't have the heat embossing, if you don't want to heat emboss. Thank you. See, I'm running out of space already. I'm just like, push everywhere. Push everything aside. There we go. Right. Is that... That's quite cool. There we go. Are you dancing, Barry? I can hear clicking. Barry dances. He goes like that when he dances. So when I hear clicking noise, normally he's dancing.
Whatever. Have you got rich razzleberry over there?
Yes, I do. You can have it. I'm finished with it.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm prototyping. What is it?
There you go. So it just adds the nice shine onto the card. So I'm just gonna get another black. Oh look, that's what Barry did for the other one. That one's got the shimmer black.
Shush.
Right. So the other die is here. Okay. Right, I'm gonna put things back first. Barry always has a go at me. Put things back. Right, close that up. There we go. Right, that's not gonna be long enough, but oh, it's just long enough. But I don't think I'm gonna use the whole of it anyway. So this is just for an alternative. Try that again. And then that should, yeah, come out. So you can normally double check that your die cut has gone through by checking that you can see the lines on your card. The lines of the die on your card, through your card even. Right. And it comes out like that. It's quite nice. I'll only do one. So now that we have our embossed element, we can just stick that down and then stick that onto the card base. Or shall I? Yeah. Ooh, no, because I'm gonna stamp the moon before I stick it on, because obviously now that I've got something in there, when I stamp, I don't want it to not stamp properly. So we are gonna place that there and then that there. Ooh, or shall we have it there? No, I'll keep it the same way. Sorry, I do need the rich raspberry now again.
Okay.
Thanks. So I'm just gonna stamp rich raspberry. Oh, Tommy.
Do you want dinner?
There we go.
It's dinner time.
And then I'm gonna use the aqua painter again just to spread that ink. And because it's water, it takes out some of the inks that was sponged on there. And then you could always go back and then add more if you want more kind of like darker areas. So really I'm just using the stamp as kind of like the circle guide, but the design inside can be changed. Right, so that's done, and then that's gonna be there. And then I'm gonna stamp the birdies, which is there. And I'm just gonna stamp that in black memento. Okay, so whilst that's drying, I'm gonna cut another piece of black card for my foreground using the mountain die. Which I did have here. Thank you. So this piece, it doesn't matter how, well, actually, maybe it does. So that piece is probably an inch, so that's 2.5 centimeters. And it's the length, it's the width of this. But you can have it shorter, so you can have it 12 centimeters, the same width as this one. But instead of doing it as a mountain, I'm gonna turn it over and then use it as my land. So when I'm die cutting, you can either die cut it above your die, so then it'll have a nice edge, or you can align it so it's so it doesn't cut the corners, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna do it above, so I know that I'm not gonna accidentally, it's just easier, and I'm not gonna accidentally cut that off. Okay, so that is big shot, please. Thank you. So you can have it as like wonky or as straight as you want, but I do want that edge at the end there. If you are enjoying yourself and liking the tips and the project that I'm creating, don't forget to hit that like button, please. That will just help our channel. So now you have a nice edge. So you could always use your snips, but sometimes it might just, when I try and do my own land, it just looks like swirly, wavy even. So that can now be added on. I'm nearly done, Barry.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm. He says. Here we go. And that's just gonna get added straight down. Ooh, I might wink it up.
Hi, Marion.
Here we go. And then this one will get added on top. So for the other card, the other die cut, so you can have that and then just cut that off as well. So if you don't want to heat emboss, you can use that. But yeah, it's just really too big. So what you could do is snip it. Yeah, don't be afraid to snip into your die cuts, because make it work. The shadow's playing with my eyes. So just as an example, so you can have it like that, or even higher. Ooh. Someone's having fun outside. Yeah, does that make sense? So just kind of like you can have it like that and have it a couple of times. That's quite nice. But I'm gonna use it this one. Okay. So card base, and I'm just gonna stick that down. I'm just gonna line it up in the middle. Can't see the middle. So I turned it over just because sometimes when you don't want to get your hand inky, it's just easier to get the table inky. There we go. And I'm just gonna put sorry, wink of Stella, so you can add shimmer onto your card. And onto the land. Alright, that is done. Ooh. I should really use my pick tool. There we go. Take your pick. Oh, I do miss the laptop in front of me. But there we go. Here we are. And then my favorite marker, chalk marker. So you can add where you already had the dots, you could always just add some around it, just for different for a bit more interesting elements onto your card. Or onto your moon as well.
going to put a laptop.
Huh?
It's not going to put a laptop.
Oh, Barris tried to get the laptop up, but I just push everything up, like all of the stuff that I've used or not used.
Hence why I didn't set the laptop up earlier.
If it was there, I wouldn't have
Spread out.
spread out as much. So you can even use the chalk marker to add a bit more. Right, I'm gonna do it. What is easier to? Like highlights on the sea, if you want to, but you don't have to. I did it on my original card. And I believe that is it. Oh, sentiment. Right, I'm just using the same stamp as what Barry did. I'm just gonna do for you. Oops. Hi, Marion. Right, let's have a look. Oh, I was like, where's my paper? It's right in front of me. There. Sometimes this ink pad is too juicy. Let's see. Ooh, nice.
Really?
And I'm just gonna cut that. Ooh. Is that Suki?
It's so cute. Oh, have you eaten already? Finished your dinner.
Did anyone have chocolates today? We haven't had our chocolates yet, have we? We had candy floss. That was Naomi.
The Easter Bunny brought some candy floss.
Yeah. Cotton candy. Cotton candy. And I'm just gonna add that on. So just to double check. There. Are you gonna do something?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. There we go. There we go. So I'll show you my original card. So that is slightly higher than that one, but because I think the blue was quite high on that one.
And from that.
So those, I used that as inspiration, and those are the two that I created. Hi, Tina. Ooh. Oh, thank you so much, Marion. Yes, so Bar's gonna come and do some more stamping with you. Using the same?
Using the same.
Using the same. So I'll just clear all my mess.
Yeah, actually, I've just realised why I tend to go crafting first rather than second.
Bear with. Bear with.
Because there's no room for me to actually get to the table.
You know what? Look, if you just go like that.
Oh, word, I can't work in this. I can't work like this. Can't work like this at all.
It's fine, I'll clear up.
It's fine. I've got enough room. Right, okay, so Just bear with me whilst I find somewhere to put some stuff. Because I've got no room to put anything at all. Okay, right, so as we said already, we're going to be using, so that was from the other day, and obviously we've made 4 backgrounds. So one, Jay's made his card, and now I'm going to use this bit here again to create another card. So I've taken my inspiration actually from this because I didn't know what I was doing before I come on. So I had a little look around, and I've actually taken my inspiration from this from the catalogue.
Hey.
So use the catalogue to your advantage to help you with what you've got. And I thought to say, okay, that's something which can be done. I can work with that and do something different. And so that's where I got my inspiration. So you don't have to come up with things which are completely and utterly brand new. You can use the catalogue to start off with and then adjust it and see how it goes. So I've already got my background made as before. I'm going to cut this down to, again, 12 by 8. So I'm going to go with the same measurements. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to do my stamping first, and then I will cut down like I did previously.
What you need?
So I had a bit of grey card around.
What, basic grey?
Yeah.
Right, next.
No, but it was an offcut of basic grey. Which I had to... Which I...
Here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So what I'm going to do first is I've got some basic grey and I have got the mountains here. So as we've already mentioned previously, these are reversible. So I'm going to stamp in one side first, which is going to be the detailed side for this. And I'm also going to use tone on tone. So I'm going to be going basic grey ink on basic grey cardstock. So let's just ink that up. Get that good and inky. And we are just going to pop that down like that.
Ooh, on grey. Nice.
I'll probably get Jay to cut this out for me because it'd be easier than bringing the machine up to me. So you can see there, tone on tone still works just as well. So I was thinking of using black, but I thought, nope, I can go tone on tone. It will still show up nicely, which it does. So can you just cut that for me? So I'm keeping it simple. I'm not doing any embossing this time.
What after?
The chamois.
Oh, I moved it because I was cleaning my stamp that I use. There you go.
So I'm just going to clean my stamp using the chamois. And I'm going to reverse this over. So I'm going to use the back side now of this stamp.
So you're going to show why it's reversible?
I am going to show why it's reversible, yes. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a clean. The problem you can potentially have with the... Well, it's not a problem, but just aware of it, especially if you've got cats around. This is quite a bit of a magnet for picking up dust, and obviously because it's a flat surface, any imperfections which sit on that will potentially show up on your stamping. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a warning on that one there. Don't always expect perfect stamping when going around, especially if you've got animals floating around, because hairs will get absolutely anywhere. Hairs. So this is, so you can see I've just flipped it over, so it's now the back side. I'm going to ink this up with, this has gone with the rich raspberry. Alright, so that's now just a solid ink, okay? And I'm going to do this in second generation, so I'm going to, or should I go off and do should I do first generation? Let me just have a little think about this. I'm going to go first.
You could always cover it.
Yeah, okay. Ish.
Yeah.
Right, so I am going to just plonk this down in the middle somewhere, like, gonna go. Where do I want to go? I'm going to go there. Commit. And down we go. This is going to be really strong. And you can see we picked up some of the imperfections. Now I'm going to go second generation stamping, and I'm just going to offset. And I'm going to create some distance to these mountains. There. And then I'm going to go again. I'm coming up a bit higher. And I'm going to go over this side here. And again create some more distance. So the further, I suppose your eyes are seeing, the further you go away, the mistier it's getting. So therefore the lighter these mountains are going. So again, I've started with a piece which is bigger than I needed, because I am going to cut this down to size to get rid of these bits at the here. So I've kind of gone in the middle, gone left, gone right to kind of create this scene. All right, so that's why it's a reversible stamp, because what it will do is, it's not a mirror image of these mountains, because if it was a mirror image it would be that, okay? But because it's not a mirror image, when I pop this over the top of it, again, I've got some darker. If I bring that down a little bit like so, I've got the mountains peaks as they're going backwards. So let me bring that up and show what we are. All right, so that's where the reversible comes in handy. It helps. It gives you the mountain line, but you can create depth with it. Okay, without the detail, which is quite nice. So it's kind of like giving you your shadows.
That's really nice.
All right, so I'm just going to clean this off.
Sorry, I'm just like watching you.
That's fine.
I'm supposed to be tidying.
No, that's fine. Watching is fine. I like it when you watch.
That's normally my excuse. I'm just standing there.
Okay, so that's that. So I'm going to cut this down to size now. So we're just going to get rid of that part there. And we're just going to cut this down here. So I'm going to take off that part and then take off that part there, and I'm going to take off this part here and take this down to 12. Just bring that down, just realised I'm not in shot, and bring that down to 12 centimeters like so. And if I can find, then I need to decide where I want to pop this. So that's going to go around here. So do I want more? So I'm going to take off. I'm going to take that down to 9 centimeters that side, and then I'm going to take it down to 8 centimeters this side here. So I've got rid of my bits which I don't require any longer, and then that's going to sit on like so. So I will also now I'm going to bring in some basic grey cardstock, and I'm going to cut this down to be my layer. So I'm going to have this, so I'm going to do what I said the other day. I'm going to cut it in half first, and then I'm going to cut this one in where I want it. So it was 8 centimeters, so I want that 8.5. And I want this at 12.5. And that will be my layer. Or my mat, should I say? I keep saying it the wrong way around. So I'm going with basic grey rather than basic black this time.
Yeah, so your layer is 0.5 centimeters bigger. Mine was 0.3.
Okay, so you've gone with a smaller
Smaller
layer.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so as long as you work in, so if it's 0.3 this side, you make sure it's 0.3 bigger that side. So as long as you work in the same increments for your layer, it doesn't matter. So yeah, Jay's got a much smaller one. Sometimes I probably do prefer a smaller one, but I'm not going to turn that. I'm not going to turn that round. So I'm going to glue this to this layer. so that can get good and stuck. And obviously, as I mentioned with those imperfections, it doesn't really matter because when I just add texture to the, especially to the further afield ones, it will add texture to it. But the foreground one will probably pretty much get covered up anyway, which that little imperfection which is down there. So as long as you're just aware of that, don't expect a perfect crystal clear stamped image with the reversibles. I'm not saying you can't achieve that, but obviously dust and things like that, it's gonna pick it up. So just be aware of it and don't be disappointed when it happens, and just work with it. It'll be fine. So that's that there. I might actually stick this on some foam pads if I knew where some foam pads were.
It's under everything, obviously. It's up here somewhere. There, see?
Yeah, buried. Okay. So we're just going to stick the foam pads on this mountain. Did you stick yours on foam pads? You did your trees on foam pads, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. How many foam pads? One more. Okay, so we'll just take all of these backs off now. It's gone quiet.
It's because
Right, so they're all off. And I've decided I wanted to keep this the same length, so I actually want the mountains to overhang. I'm doing that on purpose. Just so, because I can, because I just wanted it to kind of like come off the page a little bit. So I'm sticking that down. Could you actually cut me a card base, Joe, please?
what card base?
A whisper white thick to a normal size. Or pass me one over and I can cut it.
Okay.
Now what I've already gone ahead and done is these trees here. So Jay has used the solid trees in a stamp. Now in the dies comes these detailed trees. So
Yeah,
these
earlier.
so these ones here. So this is what I'm using tonight. So we're really getting there's only a few dies which we haven't really used out of the stamp set, and that's just to build up more scenes with the mountain there. So this is what I want to do. So they are going to be sticking. I'm going to stick these around like so.
Are you gonna use my small one? I made a small one earlier.
You did, and I don't know where that's gone because it's probably got buried somewhere. And
I know where it is.
there it is. There.
Here.
I can use that small one. So how did you create that again? I wasn't paying any attention to that part of the video. So just remind
So
us
this
again.
one, so I die cut one, if you can remember, and then
yes.
just cut up
And
on
then
the
just
spine,
snipped
and then
into
just
it.
snip into it.
Cool, well done.
There you go.
So,
You can have a baby tray.
So again, I'm going to keep it like that.
Baby
That's going to
Groot.
go in there. Baby Groot. And I'm going to stick this down onto my card base now. Because then once that's done, then I can then stick the other bits around. Because I'm going to hang off the card. So that's that. There we go. That's good. And before I stick my trees down, I'm going to go on to my sentiment. So I am going to use the Label Me Bold one again, and I'm going to use the thank you on this one here. So is this a spare bit of scrap paper? Yeah, that is. Let's go thank you, and thank you seems to be the type of cards which are good at the moment. Very appropriate, I think. And obviously thank you to all of our customers who purchase with us as well. So I'm just going to stamp that down. Hi Louise. Stamp that down like so, and I will need some scissors wherever they are. They are there, and at the other end of the table as well. Okay, if you watch us next week and I turn around and say Jay's going to go first, somebody please shout out very quickly on the comments, don't let him go first.
Why?
Because I can't find anything.
It's all on the table.
It's all on the table, buried.
I don't know why you're complaining.
Just give me a nudge. Say, no, don't do it, don't do it.
Remember last week?
Remember last week? Yeah. Remember when you couldn't find anything?
You were fine the other day. On Wednesday.
So we love this Label Me Bold stamp set. It's a really lovely stamp set. Because it's obviously it's straight lines, it's just so easy to fussy cut out. So which is really good. Love it. There's always one I think sentiment set which is a go-to, and I think this is a really good go-to one because it's got your simple thank you, happy birthdays, well done, congratulations, for you, from me, and hello. I think just plain and simple what you want to say is there. All right, so we are going to also I've really thought about how I'm going to stick these down without lodging.
Roll your mini glue dots.
Sorry?
Roll mini glue dots. With your pick tool. Where's your pick tool? But obviously I'm like on here for the there.
Yeah, I need to kind of like just manipulate these a little bit so that they bend the other way. And the reason they've bent that way is the way it just went through the die cut machine, and then I used a rolly tool to die cut, and I should have rolled it on the back, then they would have bent this way, but I did it on the front. Which you can buy the attachment which goes on the take your pick tool for that as well. So there we go, that's it. That's the one. So actually I'm gonna go with a little bit of glue, so I'm going to be very gentle here.
Oh, we have the fine tip glue.
Fine tip glue pen as well. That's fine. I'm just going to go in the middle where I want it.
I know it's fine. It's called fine tip glue pen.
And we'll just put some very gentle bits down along the branches in the middle here. That'd be enough to stick that, and because of it's got a big solid part at the top here, because it's raised up, that's enough that I can, it's not quite enough actually. I need my scissors and use the edge, and I'm just going to cut a very thin layer out from that, so you get the most out of these, and then that can sit at the top there. So make your own little foam pads.
Hi, Boss and Craft.
And I'm going to stick that over like so. My top of my tree will go down like that. So that's good. There's a little bits of glue which are splodging out down there, but don't worry about that. They will dry clear. It's not come out too much, so I'm not concerned by that at all. I think maybe one big, one.
I can cut that other one smaller as well, so you can have 3 different sizes.
Yeah, okay, so Joe's going to manipulate that one for me as well, so I'm going to do the same with this one. So, because having 3 big ones on there was a little bit too much. So I'll just have a little bit of glue in the middle here, which is going to go on the mountains. That will be enough just to stick that down, and we will then do what we did before, and little sliver out from the dimensionals. I'm going to do 2 because I know I will need it for the second one. So that's going to go in like that.
Yeah.
And that can go.
You could always overlay them as well, like just offset. That's it.
So that's going to go in like that. So we're going to have 3 trees in there. So that's going to manipulate. That's going to sit in the top. So some glue again. Take that bit which we snipped off here. Don't put your fingers in the glue which you've already stuck onto the.
Nice.
So that's that there. That's nice and stuck on the mountains.
Are you gonna wink it?
I will wink it. Or do I wink all of the trees? Do I just kind of go all over? Jay's just looking at me. Go, it's up to you.
It's up to you. It's your card.
So let's. I'm just gonna brush. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna just kind of brush over it gently, just to kind of so some of it will catch it,
Ooh.
some of it won't.
Thanks for watching, Donna. Enjoy our games night. What are you playing? I like games.
So that's going in there. So you add in just a little bit of liquid glitter, and it just makes those trees just pop that little bit more. And I've just been rough on those. I haven't been perfect. That's that. And one more. Obviously, this is one which is quite high in dimensions, so we've got double dimensionals on this.
Is it double D's?
It's a double D card. And I'm going to stick that over the trees like so. And there we go.
Ooh, logo game? What's that?
Logo game.
Is that where you have to guess which logo
Yeah.
it is? Nice.
I think so. And there we go. There is my card. So that's my second card using the baby swipe technique offcuts from the other day to create another scene. So there's 3 very different cards, I think. Well, mine's Jay's manipulated his colour quite a bit, whereas I've kept my colour. So again, if I wanted to, I think some blue maybe some come in here would look quite nice to sponge it in. But just darken that sky down just a little bit more. So there's the 2 which we've done today. Jay's completely different. My one drawn some inspiration from the catalogue, and that one there was what we started off with on our first video. So that's it.
It's this one.
Oh, have I done with the wrong one? That's the one which he did tonight, not the other one. The other one was his prototype. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. So we've got some nice comments coming through. Very nice, amazing, good, gorgeous card as usual. Thank you very much. Thank you, Louise. All right, so let's flip around.
And I'll show you some sneak peek peeks.
Oh, some sneak peeks. Oh, so stay tuned. Don't tune out yet.
Thank you. Yes, so we hope you enjoyed those baby swipe cards with the silhouette scenes using
Silhouette scenes.
using mountain air,
Oh,
because
okay.
it's a silhouette. And
Don't
it's a
get confused with a silhouette scene stamp set, though.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
So
why-
yes. So don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and comment below. Also some sneak peeks for you. But before I get on to that, we do have our first ever online class available. When?
On the 28th.
On the
of this
28th
month.
of April, but bookings close on the 14th of April. So you can check out details from our website, mitosocrafts.com, or on our Facebook page. Cool.
Well done. Tommy has decided to make an appearance for
Yay,
a change.
finally.
You've been a bit camera shy for the last couple of episodes, haven't you?
So using the not the off cards, the baby swipe cards that we created on our Facebook Live a week ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago. So I've just used that to create this card with the thank you dies, and then using another off cut in
Oh, I
between
like this one.
is kind of like arty. So you make it look like an art
In a frame.
in a frame.
And that's using out cat claws. And that's using the woven heirlooms embossing folders.
Yeah, 3D embossing folders.
3D
yes.
embossing folders, which I think is really pretty. So which
Heirloom
is good.
frames.
Heirloom frames,
Yes.
that's it.
Cool. So keep a lookout on more pictures of those on our blog sometime next week.
Lovely. Excellent.
Thank you so much again for
I
joining
would
us.
show you my pick up my card and wave, but I'm holding onto a cat that he doesn't fall off my my lap.
Thanks again, and hope to see you again soon, or
Yes.
come back soon again.
Come back, we'll see you Wednesday. Facebook Live, Wednesday evening. Okay, will be our next video for you. Alright guys.
Yeah.
Good.
That's great.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.